Hey everyone, and welcome back to Kings and Generals. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating, complex, and often brutal history of the Kievan Rus. This isn't just about a single kingdom, it's the story of the Eastern Slavs, their encounters with powerful empires, nomadic hordes, and intrepid Norsemen, all culminating in the birth of what would become Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. Imagine vast plains, dense forests, and winding rivers. This was the ancient home of the Eastern Slavs. For centuries they lived in decentralized communities, farmers and traders, largely unknown to the wider world. But their strategic location, nestled between the wealthy Byzantine Empire to the south and the powerful Turkic Khazars to the east, meant they wouldn't remain isolated for long. Then came the Norsemen, the Vikings, specifically the Varangians. These weren't just raiders, they were also skilled merchants, following the great river routes, the route from the Varangians to the Greeks, seeking wealth and opportunity. They established trading posts, and gradually their influence grew. Our story truly begins in the 9th century. According to tradition, the Slavic and Finnic tribes of the north, weary of internal strife, invited a Varangian chieftain named Rurik to rule them. This marks the legendary founding of the Rurikid dynasty, a lineage that would shape Eastern European history for centuries. While Rurik established himself in Novgorod, it was his successor, Oleg the Wise, who made the pivotal move. He seized Kiev in 882, uniting the northern and southern Slavic lands under a single, albeit loosely organized, state. Kiev, strategically located on the Dnieper River, became the heart of this new entity, the Kievan Rus. The early Ruses were formidable warriors, and their ambitions often brought them into direct conflict with the mighty Eastern Roman Empire or Byzantium. They launched audacious attacks against Constantinople itself, most famously in 907 and 941. These were brutal affairs, showcasing the ferocity of the Rus. But their relationship wasn't just about warfare. Trade flourished, with Rus's furs, honey, and slaves flowing south in exchange for Byzantine silks, spices, and crucially, Christianity. The most transformative event was the Christianization of the Rus under Prince Vladimir the Great in the year 988. This was truly a monumental decision. It brought Kievan Rus into the orbit of Byzantine culture, art, and law, forever changing its identity and connecting it to the broader Christian world. Imagine the impact: new architecture, a written language, and a profound shift in worldview. While Byzantium influenced them from the south, a powerful and often antagonistic force lay to the east, the Khazar Khaganate. This Turkic state, with its unique Jewish elite, controlled crucial trade routes and frequently clashed with the expanding Rus. Oleg's victory over the Khazars was a key step in solidifying Rus's control over the Dnieper. But the Khazars weren't the only threat. Throughout its history, Kievan Rus had to contend with a succession of Turkic nomadic peoples, the Pechenegs, and later the Cumans or Kipchaks, who constantly raided their borders, posing a persistent challenge to stability and prosperity. These were brutal, attritional wars that shaped Rus's military tactics and defensive strategies. After a golden age under princes like Yaroslav the Wise, Kievan Rus began to decline. Internal feuds among the Rurikid princes, often vying for control of Kiev, led to constant civil wars and the fragmentation of the state into numerous independent principalities. This weakened them significantly, making them vulnerable to external threats. And that threat arrived with terrifying force in the early 13th century. The sound of hooves thundered across the steppe, signaling the arrival of the Mongol hordes under Genghis Khan's generals. In 1223, a combined Rus and Cuman army faced the Mongols at the Battle of Kalka River. It was a devastating defeat for the Rus, a bloody preview of the destruction to come. The disunity of the Rus' princes, their inability to cooperate effectively, proved fatal. Years later, under Batu Khan, the Mongols returned with an even larger force. City after city fell, burned, and its inhabitants were slaughtered. Kiev itself, once the glorious capital, was sacked in 1240, marking a symbolic end to the Kievan Rus' era. While much of Rus is burned, one entity managed to maintain a degree of independence, the Novgorod Republic. Situated in the north, it was a powerful trading city, an oligarchy ruled by merchants and boyars rather than a prince. Its marshy terrain and distance from the steppe helped it escape the full brunt of the Mongol invasion. But Novgorod faced its own challenges. From the west, new threats emerged, the Teutonic Knights and Swedish Crusaders, who were seeking to expand their influence and, convert the Orthodox population. Prince Alexander Nevsky of Novgorod became a national hero, famously defeating the Swedes at the Neva River and, most decisively, the Teutonic Knights at the Battle on the Ice, Lake Peipus, in 1242. This victory prevented Catholic expansion into Rus's lands and secured Novgorod's independence for centuries. The Mongol yoke lasted for centuries, profoundly shaping the future of Eastern Europe. While Kievan Rus' was gone, its legacy lived on. Its cultural and religious foundations, its legal traditions, and its fragmented principalities would eventually give rise to new powers. Most notably, the Grand Duchy of Moscow, which would eventually unite the Russian lands and emerge as a powerful empire. From the mythical Rurik to the devastating Mongol invasions, the story of the ancient origins of Kievan Rus is a saga of ambition, faith, conflict, and resilience. It's a foundational chapter in the history of nations that, honestly, continue to shape our world today. If you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Kings and Generals for more historical documentaries, and let us know in the comments what period you'd like us to explore next. Thanks for watching.